Well, thank you. So first and foremost, I do want to let folks know that, Governor Whitmer and I serve everyone in Michigan, everyone in every community and every county across both peninsulas. We have 83 counties in Michigan. I've been to all of them, most of them more than once, including spending a lot of time in the UP. I give a shout out to my sisu blood every day here. And I want to let folks know that we intend to serve and create opportunity, economic opportunity, lower costs, and make life more affordable for everyone in Michigan, especially in the Upper Peninsula. This is something that's very personal to me as someone who comes from the technology world. And we created the Michigan High-Speed Internet Office so that for the first time ever in the history of the state of Michigan, we have people whose entire responsibility is connecting people and connecting our communities. And so working hand in hand with our Office of Rural Development, we're going to work to make Michigan the first large state to connect all of our people online in the country. We secured an investment of $250 million through our Building Michigan Together plan earlier this year that is going to provide enough resources to execute on that. We also we've already connected more than 23,000 unserved locations from the internet to now high speed, high quality, affordable, and reliable internet access. I'm also super excited about some of the innovations that we've been seeing, including companies like Highline that are connecting communities across the UP, and was proud to support them to make sure they got the important, critical federal funding to be able to expand their operations and expand their installations across the UP. And I got a chance to actually, do one of the fiber connections myself. Was very exciting. And also the work that Northern Michigan University is doing to use their, innovative spectrum access program to provide internet access that's reliable and affordable across the entire peninsula and in the parts of the northern part of the lower peninsula as well. So something we're going to double down on, and Michigan's going to be a leader in this space. And I'm really proud of our team, and we want to build on that progress going forward. Affordable housing is something that's really important and comes up in almost every conversation about economic opportunity or lack thereof, because having a safe and stable and affordable place to live is really your jumping off point for your participation in society and in the community and in civic and economic life. And so I did a tour in 2019 and in 2021 where I went to cities all across Michigan, including making stops in Marquette and in Houghton, to talk about how do we improve quality of life. And affordable housing is something that always rose to the top of that list. And that's why, taking the input that I got from cities like Marquette and Houghton, I was able to work with our legislature and our team to secure $100 million into our state's community development fund for affordable housing. That's going to leverage another about $500 million in private investment in the construction or the renovation of affordable housing of all types, whether that's single family homes, rental units that are going to increase the supply, but also increase the access to affordable housing in communities across Michigan. It's particularly important in I think, a lot of UP communities where we have the need for seasonal housing for people who are working different kinds of seasonal jobs, but also ones that are there for the ongoing folks who need to be employed, education professionals, people who are working in important industries all across the UP. And so that's something we're going to continue to invest in. We're looking forward with our new legislative allies to find more ways to deepen that investment and attract more private sector investment in housing specifically, because this is critical to our state's success and future. There's this is one of the most important things we have to work on to make sure that our education system is solid, is stable, and is positioning our young people and therefore our communities to be their best. And Governor Whitmer and I have made record historic investments in K-12 education across Michigan so that every kid can have access to a high quality public education in our state, more than anyone's ever invested in that. And part of that investment has been in supporting programs in districts like Grow Your Own programs that encourage parapros and student teachers to be able to pursue the full teaching certification. We also have implemented a program that will include stipends for student teachers, because one of the big barriers to people becoming teachers is not being able to be paid during their student teaching experiences. So the state of Michigan, our administration, we stepped up and delivered those resources so people can get paid for their student teaching so they can be well supported. We also just want to restore respect to the profession of teaching and of being an education professional. There have been, for far too long, people have just talked trash about it, insulted, and been demeaning to education professionals. And that, I find that quite offensive. And Governor Whitmer and I really want to model the fact that these are important professionals who set up our state for success. I'm married to an education professional. Like, I think this is really important that we get this right and that we show support and respect for these people so that more people can see this as a profession that is worth pursuing. We also have worked to make sure that we can support people pursuing the kind of college degrees they need here, and through our programs like Michigan Reconnect and Futures for Frontliners and the Michigan Achievement Scholarship, we've lowered the barriers to higher education for people to pursue education degrees. And we think that's going to lead to both broadening, widening, and diversifying the people who are choosing to be education professionals in Michigan. Let me make this abundantly clear. Governor Gretchen Whitmer and I are completely supportive of children being able to be safe in school. And that includes children who identify as LGBTQ. And there should be no threats that should be acceptable on them. And that is why the governor and I will continue to fight for protecting these students at school and in every other aspect and area of life. One of the things that we look forward to being able to do is codifying civil rights protections for Michiganders under our state civil rights law, the Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act, codify the protections for the LGBTQ community. So you can't be discriminated against at school or at work or kicked out of your apartment or fired from your job because of who you are and who you love or how you identify. That is unacceptable. And I think that to bring those attacks down to children is even more dangerous. And that's something that we have to stop and that we will always stand against.